All right, what's up, y'all? Stripes and Coffee back at it again. Got
Who
Callan,
they?
AJ Houday
Who day?
back for season 3. Is that
I guess so.
we got seasons now? Or so
Yes,
I mean, I'm gonna get this up there. We're gonna have ones and ones of views. It's gonna go just viral.
absolutely.
Hey, maybe
Yes,
even like 12.
sir.
We were looking through some of them. It was like 6 views, 7 views, and probably we're 3 of them.
Yeah, I usually look at them, so
Hey, it's for us anyway. I'm not looking to like get YouTube rich or nothing. This is just something I thought fun to do. So
Absolutely. Man, I miss this. I miss y'all,
yeah,
man.
I love talking
I'm glad
sports.
it's back too.
For sure, man. And like I'm glad that you're excited that you brought it back up, that we needed to get it going. And my kids wanting to say something to me. 4? Was it 4? We've been doing it for 4 years.
I think it has been four.
Holy cow!
I think
Yeah,
we started Chase's rookie
it
year.
was the 21 year, the year they
that would
the
be 3 years though.
Super Bowl run year, right?
Wasn't it 21 to 22? So it was I thought you started it in 2021.
2 years, but I thought it was the 21 year. So 3
I
years,
also
4 years, more than one. So been at
Yes,
it for
sir.
a little while. Anyway, just I thought I might recap really quick, just kind of like the change in the team. So I'm gonna go over to my little chat GPT. And do you guys still see me?
yes.
Okay, I wasn't
Yes.
sure. I'm not sharing screens, so oh nuts. You know what I did is I'm gonna ask chat GPT again because it closed my thing there. Or nobody it actually saved my my query here. So real quick, so our free agency additions, and you guys, if you think of anybody else that like actually matters or whatever, let me know. But we picked up Sheldon Rankins on the D line, Geno Stone at safety, Zach Moss in the backfield, and Mike Gesicki and Trent Brown. Significant losses. We lost Cheeto. We lost Jonah Williams, um, Joe Mixon, and DJ Reader. Sound
Mhm.
about right?
That sounds about right.
So, oh, we forgot Von Bell wasn't on here. We ended up later in the year picking up Von Bell. So,
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
we definitely got our secondary back. I'm
Yes.
really happy with that. So I think that's going to be pretty key with our defense and the communication at the back end, so we won't have so many of those broken explosive plays that we did last year. What do
Yes.
you think? Sound about
Much
right
needed.
there?
Much needed. Much needed to have Von Bell back. Like you said, it's a veteran presence.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, he's been there with us. So it's like, come on now.
Yeah,
This makes the most sense.
I know. I was a no-brainer. I don't think he was part of the plan necessarily, but when they let him go and we got him for next to nothing, I mean, he knows our scheme. He knows Lou Anarumo. They know how to work together. Um,
Lou.
he's just a great player, a great communicator. And Geno Stone was a great pickup at a reasonable deal. We got that center fielder. I mean, he's not maybe Jesse Bates good, but I mean, plenty good enough for uh, what we want to do. I mean, he's on paper, he's perfect. Um, Cornerbacks looking good. Dax Hill won that job.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
came out. He got the two.
Yeah, because DJ Reader, started off great and had some rough patches, but it seems like he kind of like cleaned it up some towards the end, if I'm remembering right. But he's got a
Mhm.
lot of promise. And now CTB, we know what we think about him. I know we all three love him.
He's pretty awesome.
Yes. That's my favorite Bengal right there for sure.
Now the D line's what scares me. Losing DJ Reader, we don't have that big body two gap type of defensive lineman right now. Sheldon Rankins was a great pickup, and that should give us some interior pass rush we didn't have. But DJ Reader would clog up that middle and allow our ends to get home. So I don't
Huge
know.
loss.
We weren't great at the run last year, even with him there. And when he left the field, there was a significant difference. So that's what scares me.
Hmm.
I
Agreed.
don't know.
Agreed. And that's why I'm worried too, because we also lost the two rookies to injuries right before this week one game.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna cover that real quick because Chris Jenkins was part of that, and this is our draft haul. So Amarius Mims, round 1, Chris Jenkins, round 2, defensive tackle, and Amarius Mims, offensive tackle. I better put that out there. Jermaine Burton, wide receiver, McKinley Jackson, defensive tackle, Eric All Jr., tight end, Josh Newton, cornerback, Tanner McLaughlin, tight end, Cedric Johnson, edge, Dijon Anthony, safety, and Matt Lee, center. So that was our pickups in the draft, which was a pretty good haul. They're all on the team. It's like a rare time that everybody that we picked, we got like down to the Matt Lee in the 7th round made the team. So
Actually, and he showed a lot of promise, I thought, in the preseason, as Matt Lee did. A lot of people were really high on him. And
yeah, there were some people, I think, like even a late day 2 pick type of thing, like upwards as high as possibly the 3rd round, but like definitely not 7th round, 4th, 5th, I think, I think the big thing is like maybe just think a little undersized at center, I think was, but
So was Jason Kelsey though,
yeah. I think he could be that hidden gem. Jackson Kirkland, I think we got him undrafted free agent from UW last year. On the offensive line, he made the team. He's got rid of Jackson Carmen, waxing
Thank
Carmen
God.
last year,
Thank
man.
God.
Thank God, so like, we could see bust right away, and they didn't hang on to him, luckily. So that
Yeah.
guy. But Jackson Kirkland, I think they were putting him at all spots. Maybe not center, but definitely guard and tackle. He's a guard, but they were trying him at all spots, and it seemed like he was picking it up. So I think his versatility made them comfortable in dropping some of these guys that, really weren't all that great. So like you can't get worse.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That's the big recap. Defensive line, like I said, is my worry. Well, on the offensive side, I think we kind of overall our tight end room. Mike Gesicki, we haven't had a tight end like him. He's just like a big slot receiver.
I think he's going to be pretty big, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. And this week 1, he could be very big with our wide receiver situation, depending on now. But yeah, we just have not had a guy quite like him, so I think that could be a very, very good signing there. And then the other tight ends, Eric Hall seems like he's like a do it all type of guy, like that. I guess Iowa's becoming what they say tight end you, because like they went there and they just make some good tight ends, so
yeah. Him and Laporta both, yeah.
and Laporta, yeah, good point there. So supposedly he can block in line, should be able to receive, good athlete. We'll see there. Now, how y'all feel about Mixon leaving?
I was sad. I was bummed out.
Oh, for sure. As a fan, hate to see him go. And he left classy, had good things to say, did the things I kind of wish CJ Uzama did when he left, although he went for the bag and, but we kind of luckily ended up trading him, not cutting him. I think we were going to, but send him to a good home. So I hope he does good there. But it was time, honestly.
Yeah.
The stat that I heard is that he was one of the I don't know, like way low as far as yards after contact. So
Yeah.
he was
It did kind of feel like he'd like run into somebody and kind of just go down.
Yeah, he wasn't breaking tackles, and he definitely wasn't explosive. We were trying to get more explosive. So not that Zach Moss is explosive per se, but I do think he might work better with the type of run scheme they want to run and Mixon.
Great blocker. Yeah, exactly.
And then being a pass protector, did that really well. So, and Chase Brown actually had a really good pass block in the preseason. I don't know if you saw that, but they showed this one clip. I was like, damn, he looked like
I didn't see that.
Man, just like, whew.
Yeah, he seems like he's going to be pretty good.
That's the explosive element there,
Yeah. Can't wait to see.
Perfect doing that committee approach so he stays fresh, right? So he can snap off one of them 30, 40-yard runs. Which if we throw the ball like I think we're going to, that will open up the run a little bit. So And that brings me back around to offensive line. How y'all feel about that?
I think this is probably going to be the best offensive line that Joe has had, which I think will be very good for us.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
on paper for sure.
Yeah, have to see it in action, obviously, but on
See,
paper.
but Trent Brown, we know he's good. Sometimes it just doesn't work out chemistry wise with the O line. But we know he's good. Just please stay healthy a little while at least.
Hmm.
No, Mims Peck is better.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, he's not playing anymore, right?
no,
Is
he's
he
out. He's out. I think they're just being cautious. Like I bet if he had to, he probably would. But with
Hmm.
Trent Brown there, we don't necessarily need him. You know, but yeah, that'd be great to get him back. But Orlando Brown, I think he was tweaked last year, like his growing or something. So he should be fully healthy. That should be good. So and really the weakest link is Volson. And if he's the worst you got, and he's Volson is fine. He goes anywhere between like not great to pretty good, which kind of evens out the fine. And that's the worst you got. You're not bad. Offensive line play in the league is just not very good. It's hard to find really good guys. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I seen that in the Baltimore game opening night. Yeah, that was
that brings me to a point, as much as they go like, oh, Burrow's got all these weapons, and if Lamar Jackson had his weapons, he's already got 2 MVPs. Look how good he would be. I'm like, well, here's something that nobody's ever considered. What happens when you have a not great O-line play? What did Joe Burrow do? He made magic happen with shit line play. Freaking
good point. Good
Lamar
point. That's a
Lamar
great point.
looked lost the way he was running around down there. Burrow would just calmly like dart around, eyes downfield, and just look like it was pretty natural, navigating a shady pocket, and then people all around him or whatever in chaos. He did well during that for the most part. And Lamar looked kind of lost, to be honest, like spin around to throw. I know he would take off running and all that. So I don't want
Yeah.
to say
Mhm.
Lamar is bad, but we'll see how he does it because that line I think took some hits this year and they had some injuries, so I don't think they're particularly good. So, I mean, maybe just a bad game one, and maybe Chris Jones took it to him. I don't know, but yeah, they got tore up that game, and he looked lost to me. Anyway,
I
that's
agree.
I'm not a Lamar hater or I don't want to shit on him, but just
I like Joe Burrow. That's that's the moral of the story. Joe
Lamar,
Burrow is pretty good.
facts, and way much better. He's a real quarterback.
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. Lamar gets all this praise, and he's not a
mhm,
real quarterback. At the end of the day, he's just a running
yeah.
back. There,
And
at
I've
the
seen
end.
him do some great things with his arm, but it's not consistent enough. Like he'll have those games where like he wins with his arm, but
It's not consistent. That's
yeah,
it.
just not consistent, man. Like that playoff series against KC, there were like 2 or 3 throws he missed. If he would have made one of them, this game they had, if he would have made the first two, you wouldn't have had to have the toe touch. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
um, so O line play to get this thing back on track. We feel that it's the best they've had in a while. So I feel they're top half of the league. At least like right there in the middle
Definitely
with,
got worse.
with top 10 upside. They could slide into the like maybe 10, 9, 10, maybe, if they play at their absolute top potential, but I'll take average, not like, 27 out of 32,
Yeah, I think that's all we need is for Joe Burrow doesn't need the best line. He just needs not 30-second.
exactly. Just give him just enough time, just enough pass protection. So,
And I think we might get that this
mhm.
we had it definitely it felt like it's continually got better every year, and I think this if it plays out the way it looks, and I'm really excited to see that, him with a pretty good line.
Yeah, me too. Super excited, so with the continuity and a couple new, new pieces in there, it's just really the right tackle. Um,
Hmm.
Everything else is like as it was, which was just good enough. And one of the other main pieces, Orlando Brown, is fully healthy. You know, should be great. So let's talk about week one real quick. And I think we only got 10 minutes for the Zoom meeting. 7 minutes and 55 seconds, so we got time. Yeah, just the free version. Let's quick get your credit cards.
Yeah.
So, how you feeling about week one? Now, real quick, New England Patriots supposed to be bad. We start at home against a bad team. We are not having to put up with a stupid elite edge rusher. We don't got TJ Watt. We don't got Myles Garrett raring down our throat in game one in the piss and rain. Matt Judon, I think they traded him away, so it's even less of a threat. Now, stupid things happen, week one weirdness, whatever, but that feels good to have that type of game. Scary things hurt T. Higgins. Chase threatening not to play, I guess, just with their contract situation, which, spoiler alert, I feel that he does. I don't think he wants to end up getting in the way of football greatness, but be that as it may, he may not. So our depth might be Yoshi, Trent Irwin, maybe Jermaine Burton gets some time out there, and Mike Gesicki. Maybe Eric Hall, is he playing? I think he was off the injury or whatever. I think he practiced. So, of course, we got Drew Sample, but he's more the blocking guy, and sometimes you'll sneak a pass out to him. But not a lot of depth at wide receiver. If some great guys. I think Yoshi might have a great year. It's just he's not proven yet. And Trent Irwin, we know he's had some great moments, but I think if he's like the main guy, it's going to be rough. He benefits by people worried about T and Chase.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like this is, with the team, I just kind of come back to like definitely kind of this slightly scary situation at wide receiver, but I feel like for a team was one of the worst last year, were they not the worst? I can't remember where they picked, but they were bottom of the
It was
barrel.
top 5. It might have been 3 or 4. They got Drake May,
Yeah.
so whatever they picked the quarterback, so they were bad enough to get one of those top guys. So
Yeah, so with that, I feel like we should beat them, right? If we're the team we want to be at, like it's kind of a concerning situation, but it's a better. Joe Burrow had his first full healthy off season, and if he's the person that we think he is, I feel like he can beat a very, very bad Patriots team with less depth at wide receiver. I feel
me
like
and
that's kind
Josh
of
would
what it
go out
boils
there
down
and
to.
probably could win, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was huge.
I'll go with tight end, and Josh will be the wide receiver 1, and Joe Burrow would still probably find a way to beat them with us.
So, yeah, and
Absolutely.
that's just yeah. That's what I would say. It's just
If I didn't get a concussion on the very first play.
that's what I would say that I don't like the uncertainty at wide receiver, but I don't think Chase is going to keep doing that week after week. It's going to be this first game, and this is kind of a concerning situation for that. But I think
Yep.
we will and probably should find a way to win even despite
Yeah.
that.
I agree with that. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly for sure. I hope Chase plays because he's a leader in the locker room, obviously for the team. So all the new talent and the younger guys gonna look at him, in a certain way. I feel like if he doesn't play either, but
Good point
like
there.
Ainsley said, the Joe Burrow, that's huge. Having a whole training camp. Finally, he should be good to go. Like all systems go. Like with Joe back there, we good. Like no way we should lose to New England.
Yeah, regardless.
Training camp, Joe.
Exactly, because our wide receivers should be good. We just don't know. We really don't know how good they could be, so it's an unknown more than they're bad, right?
Well, and
So,
they've
Yeah,
definitely shown talent, yeah, the ones that we do know about.
but their pass rush isn't as scary, but their secondary is pretty good. But I don't know. I feel we can beat it. So
Mhm.
on the other side of the ball, I mean, do they really got anything that we should be worried about? I mean,
I don't think they're playing a backup quarterback, so
they got Brissett. So really their only chance, I feel, is just running the shit out of the ball and plays into what we feel could be our weakness is they just gash us, keep it out of Joe's hands, and don't allow us to have enough time to score the points we need. So I really in this situation, I feel that they'll probably, if they win, they might take the ball first rather than deferring. You know what I mean? Get out to that fast start and make them not able to run. But that's the only way is if they run and then it actually works, keep the ball out of Joe's hands and they are scoring points,
yeah, they can chew up all the time that way.
Mhm.
I
So
yeah, I would say that that's their way to win. So if we don't let that happen, I would say we win. Basically, just
yeah,
don't let them do that.
Yeah, and then they can run, but they just can't gash us, you know. And on top of that, though, if they did start gashing us with that run, and it opened up some play action explosives, and that explosive shit from last year rears its ugly head. But like that's not solved, even though it feels like it should be. That
I agree. Yeah, that's what's gonna worry me for our defense. Literally the run part. Like I feel like we got a good secondary. Like we got we got that down pat, but that line still a big question mark for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. So I don't know how good they'll be able to run it. Despite that, they don't necessarily got quality people up front, but that I know. I mean, I really don't know their personnel that well, but
I guess that tells you that it's probably not really anyone that crazy good because you probably know who more than they were.
yeah. Their offensive line's supposed to be bad. I think that's why they didn't start Drake May. They're like, not so much that he didn't earn the job. It's like we don't want this guy to die. Jacoby Brissett, you die, you go die.
We'll let you die.
No, he's just run an offense before. So like in that type of situation, you don't want to put a young guy out there and just get clobbered to death right off the bat, So I think that's why they decided to do that. Damn, already ate up all this time. We have 1 minute left.
So
Final thoughts. So AJ Hude, what do you feel will make a successful season? Like, how do we get to successful season?
Joe Burrow, do not get hurt. I think that's my number one.
And I'll say fast start, with our soft schedule in the beginning. Josh, see if you can come up with one. We might have took the good juicy ones. We took the easy, I guess.
Yeah, y'all took the good ones. They're good ones. I think if we get a good old Guru Lou back, we'll be fine.
Yeah,
we get that back, we'll be fine.
Yeah,
because we know Joe gonna be Joe.
Mm-hmm. I like those 3 little keys to a successful season there. So, yeah, I guess it's about game time, guys. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can't. I still can't.
Yeah, I'm super stoked, man. So, shoot, I guess I'll wrap it up and
Who day?
Who day?
Who day?
Who day?